That's it. So let's shake hands. So, where are you from?
Originally,
Yeah.
California,
We're at in California.
South County,
South County. I've lived in South County. Is that like L.A.?
Laguna Beach.
Laguna
California.
Beach? How long have you lived here?
About 16 years now.
When I ask Debbie these questions, what I'm doing is I'm looking at her eyes, because if I'm going to talk to her, I need to know what words to use and what phrases to use. As I asked her those memory questions, she kept looking up. That's visual. Someone that looks up to the right is visual construct. Up to the left, visual memory. So you looked up to the right. Some people have it turned around. So she's one of the people that has it turned around. When she looked up to the right, that was visual memory. That's why you ask 2 or 3 questions. Each time you looked up to the right. One of the next things I noticed when Debbie come up was the shape of her face. If you look at the shape of my face and you look at the shape of Debbie's face, they're opposite. And since Rob and Debbie, or Rob will kill me for this, but if Rob will come up real quick, I just want.
You're right, okay.
I know it. I'm in trouble. But if you just kind of turn right there a little bit, look at the shape of Rob's face and the shape of my face. They're almost identical. His forehead tapers back, his mouth sticks out a little bit, and his chin tapers back. Quick in thought, quick in action. Debbie's on the other hand, her mouth sets in, her forehead comes out a little bit. She has a tendency to be on the stubborn side every now and then, but she's more moderate in thought, to more theoretical in thought. You're interested in theories, but she's reserved in speech and action. So Rob and I think and act at the same time, where she will kind of think things through and want to know the theory behind something, and then after Rob and I speak up and make a fool of herself, she comes in and corrects us. That's all taking place. That's all taking place just at the shape of someone's face. So before any words are spoken, when she's walking up to me, I'm noticing everything from the angle of her feet and how she walks, how her shoulders are they up and down, back and forth? Her shoulders are more squared off. I have a little problem with control issues with her every now and then. See? And you can see how quick he answered. And what she just did when I said that, she just went into a defensive stance. That's closing off and becoming defensive. But when she moved from a defensive stance to a superiority stance when she put her hands behind her back. So those are little subtle things that you notice when you're reading someone. The next thing I notice is the texture of her hair. Now, a lot of people can't tell by looking at the texture of a hair. So when you're comparing textures of hair, this tells if a person is more coarse, tells what kind of clothes they will wear, how they will decorate their house. If your hair is coarse, you'll buy more coarse blended clothes. The textures in your house will be more coarse blended. Her hair, I can tell by looking at it, is fine, so is Rob. So they have that in common. When they go to pick something out, they probably agree on it very quickly.
We do.
See? And you can tell if we go, well, I don't think so, but in harmony we do. So when we're reading someone, the next thing I notice is when I go to shake her hand, this tells me, do I need to warm this person up to me or cool it down? If her hand is hot and sweaty, and it is getting a little hot because you're on point, but if I shake hands with her, all of my focus goes to the palm of my hand. And if you've ever been really scared, or like if you're in an airplane and it's falling out of the sky and back up in the sky and your hands get all sweaty, that's what I'm talking about, is that fear factor. So if she's nervous and anxious, her hand will be more hot and sweaty or hot. If it's warm, then she's receptive. Now, some people's hand is cold and sweaty. That means they're timid. People will disagree. They'll go, you know, I've always been that way. Well, you've always been timid or you've always been nervous. So it tells me that if I'm going to talk to her or sell her a product or my idea, if your hand is hot and sweaty, I want to find some sort of common ground and talk to you till she becomes more receptive. That way I kind of cool you down to me. And then as she stands, she's kind of a rule person. You gotta follow the rules because she stands more erect. Her feet are close together. They're not angled one way or the other. If they're angled like Rob's and mine, that means we're more physical. With Rob's hands in his pocket, it's kind of like, and I'll get in trouble for this too. As when your hands are in your pockets, it means you're a little more secretive.
Oh, you were so right on, and you know where you are.
So, and he's giving me that eyeball, and he's bigger than me, and I'm doing this. So, but how did we do on this?
Excellent, right on.
But just throw a couple more things in there. Again, we shake hands, and I notice the temperature of her hands. The next thing I'm going to notice is her skin. Now, we got 3 kinds of skin. We have soft skin, and we're not talking about like ladies who put lotion on and that sort of thing in your skin, because you could have soft skin, and this could be rough from working in the garden or going to the gym. But when we shake hands like this, my thumb is going to come down like that, and it's just automatic. And it gives me a chance to read the texture of her skin. She has flexible skin. Some people have hard skin. Now, flexible skin people have the ability to kind of take your own beliefs and put them aside and work with people. And then when the job's done, you go back to your own core belief system. Well, the way you tell that is the way you tell the different kinds of skin. If you take your fingernail and push right here, you can't go by the palm of your hand. You push down right between your thumb and your knuckle. And if it leaves a dent and it stays that way for a while, it's like baby skin. Now, real soft-skinned people.
Here, shake his hand, Ron. Shake it.
There you go. I've shaken.
doesn't move.
Yeah, he has the same kind of skin as you do. It's flexible.
That's incorrect.
Let's do. Real soft-skinned people, we call it the next man's man. That means if you make a deal with that person, you better get the check right then, because the next person comes in, they'll agree with them, and the next person comes in, they'll agree with them. Now, hard-skinned people are kind of hard-hearted, hard-headed. If you got a boss that has hard skin and you correct him, he will fire you. He'll thank you for correcting him, but he'll find some reason to fire you for making a fool of him. Also, if you take him to dinner, he'll go to dinner with you. He'll think you're a fool for being extravagant. They're usually penny pinchers. It gives you some idea with the skin and that sort of thing. So how'd we do?
Pretty good. Pretty close, yeah.
Thank you for coming up.
Thanks.